In a pre-dawn strike, Ukraine hit deep inside Russia, crippling the country's largest drone factory and disrupting Moscow's entire aerial campaign.
The $600 million bridge strike. When diplomacy failed, Ukraine didn't answer with words. It answered with mathematics. January 18th, Moscow negotiations collapsed. Within hours, the price was calculated in steel and fire. The Antonivsky Bridge, Russia's critical supply artery, gone in one night. 412 vehicles trapped, 1,500 troops cut off, $600 million erased. This wasn't retaliation, this was the cost of failed diplomacy. What happened next wasn't chaos, it was calculation. 8:30 p.m. Moscow, 10 hours of negotiations. When they ended, Russia placed one demand on the table: absolute protection for the Antonivsky Bridge, the primary logistics crossing linking the southern front to supply depots. No drone activity, no strikes, no exceptions. Ukraine refused. 8:52 p.m. Talks terminated. No joint statement. Officially inconclusive. The meaning was clear. Diplomacy had failed. 1:10 a.m. Ukrainian command session. No documents. No records. One objective: the bridge must not remain operational. While Moscow prepared to move supplies, assuming negotiations bought time, Ukraine began counting down. 3:20 a.m. Russian command rooms. The mood wasn't cautious, it was furious. Orders moved fast. Push supplies forward before Ukraine regains initiative. The convoy assembled in 6 hours, 412 vehicles, 1,500 tons of ammunition, fuel, spare parts. Enough for 2 brigades for 10 days. Value: $520 million. The Antonivsky Bridge, selected without debate. Russian planners classified it low risk. No recent strikes. No drone activity. Ukraine lacked the range and will to hit it again, they believed. Radar focused upward. Panzer units positioned for aerial threats. Nebo systems scanning high altitude. No infantry beneath the bridge. No patrol boats. No sensors on the structure. The convoy timing had already been predicted, route modeled, dependence measured to the minute. While Russian engines roared, Ukraine had already moved, quietly and mathematically. If you knew when your enemy would cross, where would you wait? For 4 nights, Russian surveillance reported nothing unusual. Normal thermal patterns. No anomalies. 11:47 p.m. 5 days before the convoy moved, that changed. Under the eastern span, electromagnetic clamps secured 16 FPV drones into the steel framework. Installation: 9 minutes, timed between satellite passes. Once locked, the drones went inert. Each carried under 3 kilograms of explosive, below the threshold classified as dangerous to reinforced concrete. If discovered, dismissed as debris. The drones weren't programmed with GPS. Their memory contained a full structural model, compiled from blueprints, refined through 2 million stress simulations. Targeting error under 1 centimeter. 2:10 a.m. Final check complete. Nothing transmitted after. For 96 hours, traffic passed overhead. Armored vehicles crossed. The clamps held. By the time Russian planners approved the route, the trap was set. What they didn't see wasn't movement. It was positioning. 4:35 a.m. Engines ignited. 6-kilometer column rolling toward the bridge. 412 vehicles packed with ammunition and fuel. To Russian command, this wasn't risky, it was symbolic. No Ukrainian artillery, no drones, no warnings. The route felt quiet. Silence misread as hesitation. 5:02 a.m. Lead elements reached the bridge. Panzer units positioned. Radars scanning upward. Russian commanders missed the absence itself. No reconnaissance, no probing, no attempts to slow them. That absence should have triggered alarms. Instead, it produced confidence. Vehicles compressed, spacing ignored. Drivers ordered tight to prevent delays. First trucks entered. The convoy became a dense formation. Dozens of tons of explosives over one structure. 5:18 a.m. Half the column on the bridge. No longer a route, a dependency. 5:41 a.m. Convoy slowed without warning. Heavy transport. Drivetrain failure. Second vehicle braked hard. Column compressed instantly. 2 minutes. Over 70 vehicles halted on the bridge. Fuel tankers, ammunition carriers, nose to tail. Combined weight 8,000 tons. Ukrainian monitoring systems recalculated. Engagement window shifted. Probability of structural failure 38% to 91%. No new weapons. Only timing changed. The bridge had been contingency, now inevitable. Russian commanders issued contradictory orders. Reverse, forward. Radios overlapping. What Moscow believed temporary was the exact condition Ukraine prepared for. The bridge became a pressure chamber. 5:47 a.m. Panzer operators detected electronic fluctuations beneath the bridge. Weak, inconsistent, but tension was high. Panzer switched to active scan. Radar flooded the underside. 5:48 a.m. Defensive missile launched. Cost: $160,000. Target: $60 decoy, harmless explosion. Immediate effect: Convoy radios erupted, drivers panicked, vehicles collided. Russian air defense hadn't stopped an attack. It announced one. Every system elevated, radar overlapped, command saturated. 5:56 a.m. A50. Aircraft redirected, 9,000 meters up, scanning downward. Bridge fully exposed, multiple thermal signatures identified beneath the span. 5:58 a.m. S-400 battery authorization, $3 million missile ignited, built for fighter jets, now targeting objects smaller than cars. 6:01 a.m. S-400 reached terminal guidance. Seeker locked strongest return, not the drones. Fiber optic deployed. ALE-50 decoy activated, amplifying radar 100 times. Missile corrected. $3 million detonated above the river. Attention achieved. Nothing else. Russian defenses registered engagement. Operators shifted elevation. Fire control recalibrated. No one watching the bridge. 10 seconds. 6:02 a.m. FPV drones disengaged clamps, surged upward, tight profiles, no scatter, no search. Pre-assigned paths, targets, load-bearing points transferring 60% of bridge weight, struck within 1 centimeter. Limited charges for structural rupture. Delayed detonation. River forced pressure upward. Not visible explosion, internal failure, concrete fractured. Rebar snapped. Bridge didn't collapse. It gave way. Sunrise. Antonivsky Bridge severed. 600-meter gap. Convoy split. 200 vehicles trapped. 900 tons of explosives immobile. Hours later, logistics calculated reality. Frontline units, under 60 hours ammunition remaining. Fuel below minimums. Planned offensives, suspended indefinitely. Political shock. Moscow's non-negotiable corridor erased overnight. No barrage, no air campaign. Immediate effect. Command chains rewritten, supplies reversed, battalions postponed. Ukraine's cost, thousands. Russia's cost, hundreds of millions. Lost time, lost momentum, lost leverage. Daylight arrived. Battlefield quiet. Nothing stable. Most decisive outcome, not the bridge. The realization the war shifted, and negotiation couldn't undo it. Not overwhelming firepower, timing, calculation. Certainty replacing hesitation. No head-on clash, no breakthrough. Yet entire front felt impact before sunrise. Modern warfare doesn't depend on who has more tanks or missiles, but who understands dependence, pressure, vulnerability first. Bridge fell. Deeper collapse elsewhere. Planning assumptions, logistical confidence, belief control guaranteed through negotiation. If war isn't decided by strength but precision and timing, what becomes the next critical weakness on tomorrow's battlefield?